I'm late. I work from home and I'm late. What am I doing? Alright. Alright, here we go. We're up against Alexander Nuts. I'm playing Empire. That's the wrong army blocker. Let me just bada bing bada boom. Hello. Double Luminarch? That would be pretty funny. Alright. Blasphemous Snowfield. Snowfield. Let's do it. Oh my goodness. Yeesh. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm just I need to go quickly because I don't want to keep my opponent waiting. He's owl. So we're just gonna throw together something real quick, something a little fun, and see if it is enough to defeat them. I think I probably want a couple of these, one of these. Gotta be real careful facing Bretonnia. They have a lot of very scary cavalry indeed. Gotta make sure that they don't just run over ya. Because they can and they will. Most definitely. With just a whack load of dudes. Whack load of cavalry. And Empire is not very proficient at winning the cav fight. Like, yeah, you got demi knights, but they're pretty bad in general. Alberic is a thing. It's pretty nasty. Oh man, let's see here. I just need like a little bit more oomph to get the build done. And then I'm happy. I think I'm going to get one of these. And another one of these. And two of these. Yeah, alright, good enough. Let's do this. Oh! Oh, wait. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. I was just enjoying some Mother's Day dinner or lunch. Oh, double Templehoff Luminarch, I fear, is the only punishment. This does not have my consent. Oh man, love to see you guys. Oh yeah, enemies have 500 melee defense. Whoopsie daisies. I'm frazzled. Alright, here we go. Very simple build. It's a bunch of spears. I brought a Luminarch, because why not? It's actually not bad in the versus Bretonnia matchup. Better than one might expect. And then I'm just supported by a stupendous amount of cavalry and spears. Ready! Good luck and fun! Eyes dry. Very good. Whew. Alright. Got a good amount of signups. Hell yeah. Spending time with your loved ones instead of streaming. You know, I was trying to get the food done quickly. It is an Alberic. I was trying to get the food done quickly. But turns out getting full makes that more difficult. If I want more range, I can get a steam tank. He just got out of range of the Luminarch. What a ripoff. Can you dodge this though? Never saw it coming. Kerblamo, I say. Kerblamo. Gonna get me a few free cav kills. Gotta be a little careful about the Alberic though. I presume he wants to land. Yeah, he's gonna land. Huzzah. We got some mounted yeomen over here. I don't even know if that's worth the shot from the Luminarch. Okay. Gotta be real careful here. Just real safe. Luminarch needs to find something better than Yeomen to shoot at, though. Knights of the Realm are not bad. Gonna have some Yeomen archers, totally fine. That's because this is just a filthy box. I'm just gonna slowly get onto the point. With the situation like this, you want to be just very careful. You just want to be extraordinarily careful. I will have a steam tank volley gun here soon, though. And once I get the actual capture point, life will be a bit better. I did take my sweet time with it, though. I do regret that mildly. It's okay, though. Alley-oop. Whoops. My bad. Here we go. We do have the point. Gonna shoot at the Knights of the Realm. And then once I get the volley gun, life will be good. Couple Yeomen ain't got nothing on me. When we got a steam tank at the ready. No lingering. And blast them. Hell yeah. Boom. Shredding them. Very nice. A solid start indeed. But I gotta slowly make my way to the next point. I gotta be real careful because this is a hill. The hill will kill me if I'm not careful. A couple shots at the Yeoman will be good though. No archers is a little rough, however. He's really counting on these Yeomen to do well. But the volley gun is quite nasty. It should outtrade his Yeomen. It's honestly not getting that much damage. Does he have magic here? I don't know if he has any sort of magic at his disposal. This is just a cav max, by the way. Truly, this is an intensity build. But yeah, I just gotta be real careful. Slowly but surely make my way over. There's no big rush. The volley gun can get a decent amount of deeps going. And hopefully that's enough to out DPS the Yeomen. So I can't afford to get into too loose of a formation. Honestly, the steam tank is like doing really little damage, and I don't know why, man. It's like barely doing anything. All right, here we go. Very thin formation. Gelt's getting focus fired. That's okay, I guess. He's meant to be cheap. Let's get my spears in. Yo, this steam tank volley gun's kind of sucking, I'm not gonna lie. It's actually doing like very little. Anyone else getting that vibe? I'm kind of disappointed in it, actually. It's doing basically nothing, this thing. But yeah, I should be able to secure the point. Volley gun can continue to bully the cavalry. It's all Yeomen. It's all Yeomen into the horizon. That's the capture point for me, though. Quite nice. We got more spears at the ready, too. Dude, why is this thing sucking? I swear this did more damage before. Oh, I guess I'm fine. Let's get the cannon up. If he dives the cannon, I can just summon a spear. It's okay. I actually have too much range right now, weirdly enough. Yeah, I have a bit too much ranged. But yeah, if he dives the cannon, I have all of this stuff. We have the Luminarch here. Cannon should be mostly fine. So we have Spearmen at the ready. And this is actually going to let me trade into these guys a bit. And plus I still have the 2 points. Hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Luminarch shot on his cavalry. Gonna do a bit of deeps. I can countercharge him like so. We can bring in the Demigryph Knights. As my artillery continues to pound into them. Alberic doesn't really want to get in there because if he does, he could get wrecked. And I think we actually might kill the defenders of the fleur-de-lis here. How marvelous. All this for a little bit of damage on a cannon. Very nice. Oh, I should have moved Gelt there. Gelt could have gotten a lot of work done. But this is actually quite nice for me. Kind of a slower paced game than usual. There you go. Artillery piece has survived. And the Demi-Knights are actually cooking pretty hard. Getting a lot of damage on these guys. Unfortunately for me, I've kind of left a gap in my lines. He's gonna chuck out some dirty magic my way, but we got some magic of our own to bully him with. I can summon a cannon here. Bully him some more, why not? Very good. As long as Alberic is hiding in the trees, I'm not really that worried. Fairly good. Big damage. Value trading is through the roof. This is why you don't that's why you don't cav max a cav maxer. I've been cav maxing since before you were born. I was born in the cav max. Molded by it. Gonna get a sick charge on those Knights of the Realm. Big surround over there. Big massacre of the Knights and Cav over on this side. The reason why I wanted to trade so soon, by the way, is because we actually don't have a lot of summons. I need to re-summon my dudes as soon as I can. That's gonna be a nice Searing Doom though. Luminarch bullying the Alberic. Gonna net that mounted yeoman over there. As we pull back over here. We can give him a bit of a volley gunning. Very nice. And then I need to start desummoning. Desummoning is critical for our victory here. Because I need to make sure that I maintain my strong unit count. More units are coming though. We got the Champions of Quenelle coming in next. That'll be a fairly good Searing Doom at least. If I keep Searing Dooming him, life will be good. And it'll take a long time for him to deal with all these spears. This is quite the tremendous amount of them. Nice. Altdorf Griffite's doing pretty well. Now they're gonna start running. They're here to distract actually, while I secure the points. Some questing knights have arrived though. A little terrifying. But also not the end of the world. I can box up here with these guys. Now that we are able to secure the points. And then hopefully the Searing Doom lands. And I just gotta start boxing with all my guys. Just like have little pockets of men. just chilling. That was, I think that was a pretty good Searing Doom. I can start getting some spears, why not? They're gonna be a big old pain in the butt. Now he has healed Alberic quite a bit. The question is whether or not he can kill all these spears. This is quite a lot of spears. The cycle charging's a little annoying though. So it is hurting them quite a bit. But maybe I can keep up the distractioning. Luminarch's doing its best. It's out of ammunition now though. I really need to disrupt all this cavalry here. Another big Searing Doom should get a little bit of work done, at least. The triple cap is pretty menacing. Let's move these guys. Let's split them up, actually. I need to make sure I have enough guys on each point. But yeah, distraction artillery doing its job fairly well. On the far side, the mounted yeomen aren't doing too amazingly, which is good. I can even use Gelt to help handle that situation a bit. Volley gun's doing pretty good. And I just have so much money. I need to like just distract the guy. So I'm gonna summon another artillery piece, and we're gonna hope that that's enough. That's a fairly good bracing of the dudes. I'm gonna chuck a Searing Doom over there. Steam tank needs to live. We do win on fairly low points though. So if I just super box up my formation like so, we should be okay. Searing Doom is gonna help with capture weight. I do have some spears here for even more capture weight shenanigans. He's gonna try and push through, but that's not gonna work too well. I can actually remount my cavalry now. And I even have some knights. So how quickly can he resecure these points? If I stall long enough, it's honestly not too bad. Yeah, I'm just gonna run with these guys because really it's the infantry that he has to kill. It's really just the massive block of infantry. So if I can distract the cavalry, even for a little bit, it's actually very worth it for me. Because currently I just don't have a lot of time. Yeah, I need to burn his time. He doesn't have a lot of time. What am I talking about? Yeah, guys got like no time at all. We have Royal Altdorf Griffites too. The distraction continues. We can even use spears to distract even a little bit better, having caught him in the trees. Gelt can keep wearing him down too. I could start moving here, but that's not super worth it. Okay, nice. And he sees a threat, so he knows that he kind of has to get his boys over here. He knows that it is like he's actually running out of time, which is perfect for me. And if I full push over here and steal his point, that would be perfect. It's not like he has that much here to handle things. He's gonna chuck Alberic right in the middle though. It's quite terrifying. He's going to hurt the leadership of my men quite a bit. We're gonna give a charge command to keep him around. And we're gonna try and steal this far point of his using my cavalry. The thing is, he has to clean up a lot of dudes for this to work out. Alright, like just getting in there is not going to be an auto win. Because a lot of my guys are gonna rally, right? At least that's the idea. Just gonna charge into my dudes over here. Desperately trying to get the point. Gotta remember though, we got Searing Doom and the like. That's gonna be very painful for him. I'm not gonna let him take this point either. And I also have a cannon. The cannon's gonna be great. It's gonna stall him for a very long time. Plus the Griffites are here. Absolutely massacring. I think we might actually get this. Holy crap, the spears came back. What heroes? Ah, yeah. Dude, we just played super cagey. We just played a super cagey box style. The surrounders have been surrounded. Amazing. And I think we have defeated the Catmax. Alberic's also not landing hits on Gelt. As long as he keeps running away, he can be very annoying to actually hit. And we've triple capped him. With the smaller army. Truly amazing. Oh man, dude. What a fight. This one was pretty crazy. We beat him with the Luminarch, guys. We beat him decisively with the Luminarch. Who would have thought it would be possible? Oh man, alright. GG. Oh, I had mortars for the archers too. Alright. Woo. Pretty good. Pretty good. Gelt got mega value. He got almost 4,000 value with one spell. Gelt costs, he got like 10 times his value. That's insane. Yo, yo, Mr. Razak. Luminarch got 2,000. Altdorf Griffites did okay. Spears and Halberds are great. If you're ever worried about the Cav Max, you can always try something like this. Even with 3 mortars in reserve, we did really well. Obviously, having the max number of spears was nice. I can't believe Alberic did so little, though. I didn't even notice he had Grail Knights. Crazy match. Absolutely crazy match. Can't believe it. What do we start? Luminarch desummoning actually positive value? True. Although, like, shooting at Alberic is not actually that value. Gelt, though? Gelt with the 9x value? Or maybe 3x? I mean, not 3x. 8x value, I think? This is the reason you always infantry max with Bretonnia. Yeah, but that kind of struggles versus the mortars. Dunes of Gain. Alright, let's do it. Lizards. Eventually I'll get lizards in. We're doing every faction. It's just there's a lot of factions. 24 factions means it's going to take me at least 5 weeks to get everyone. Each artillery baits out a 750 gold cav unit. Insane tech. The distraction artillery and having just like some summon support. If they don't go in hard enough on the artillery, they can be punished pretty hard. Oh yeah, trebuchets. Trebuchets would have been good. Honestly, if you go cav max as Bretonnia, you need to make sure you run a few archers. Otherwise, that may happen. Tzeentch, Tomb Kings, and Beastmen. Tzeentch. Let's do it. Can we defeat the foul Tzeentch forces? I think so. I'm pretty sure Tzeentch is... Pretty sure Tzeentch is actually fairly chumpy. I call everyone chumpy, though. I think, unless I'm playing Nurgle, I feel like... Yeah, everyone's just a little chumptastic. Empire is strong. How cheap can I get this person? Fairly cheap. Very nice. Yes, good. This is good. Another excellent matchup for Luminarch. We did see the Luminarch can one-shot the Blue Scribes. Unironically, kind of a terrifying unit. Am I really gonna run a Luminarch though? Is this really the time to be memeing it up like a mad lad? What if I... Let's see here. If it's Tzeentch, there's a lot of, like, shielded infantry. Sorry, when it comes to Tzeentch. There is that to worry about. They do struggle a little bit versus armored cavalry, at least. They have to take Centigores of Tzeentch to clear them, and those guys can only get so much done. Then they have blues and pinks spam, which is annoying, but honestly also fairly weak to the cavalry. So if I do something like this, then I should be okay. Blues and pink spam. Can I beat it? Can it be done? Maybe. This guy's pretty nice. Sure, let's do it. We're late, so I gotta rapid fire win these matches. Do long rifles cook here? I've used long rifles before, but the build up actually does really well against them. If you do bring long rifles, you need something to counter a build up. Luminarch is a poor man's solar engine. It's not really like a poor man's solar engine, because it is significantly stronger. You just can't aim it. It's more like a broken bazooka. If it hits, oh yeah, they did. But the thing sometimes shoots the other end, you know, it's far from consistent. You can manual aim the Luminarch. Unfortunately, you can't. But that would be a lovely idea. Alrighty, let's take a look at stuff. Alright. Let's send that away. Lots of messages I have to deal with. I kind of had to rush home. Alright. Man was not meant to wield such power. I think Luminarch is definitely one of the hardest hitting units in the game. It might be the hardest hitting unit in the game, though. For single entities. I don't know if there's like a single shot that does more damage, unless you count like Hand of the Gods. Maybe some magic can do a lot. Unironically, Doombolt kind of gets close. All right, he's ready. Let's do it. Solar Engine is a glorified buff slash debuff platform. Yeah. I think if you want to do it right, you have to like spread its shots so that you're constantly debuffing targets. Oh, kind of a weird build, but trust. Trust, people. Trust. Ready. Good luck, have fun. Yo, imagine he brings a soul grinder here. Wouldn't that be hilarious? I think a soul grinder would be a perfect target for this. For these build. We got our double engineer. Love him. We got a Buna caster. We're running Elspeth just because she's a spellcaster lord and I want double engineer. Marathi, Pit of Shades did more damage in lore. In lore, Croak is the best. Alright, here we go. Got Kairos, he's Blue Fire caster. Blue Fire has 175 meter range. Luminarch has 320. So try and Blue Fire me, I dare you. He has Oracle of Eternity, not a big deal. And just 10 units. There is indeed a Soul Grinder. But do I fear it, is the question. Am I actually worried about the Soul Grinder? I don't know. Gotta be a little careful about this middle point. I can't bring in the boys, though. What we're looking at here. A decent amount of infantry. Other than that, nothing too crazy. Bunch of blues and pinks and such. Does he not know of the danger of the Luminarch? Is he gonna blue fire me? Yeah, that's right. You better hide. You better hide. Oh, big hit. Kairos did not like that. Line them up. Again. Yeah, this is the screw off blue fire caster unit. I can get a Sunmaker here to bully him some more, which is giving him some weird situations to deal with, essentially. But the Luminarch really does shoo away a lot of annoying threats. It can even shoot at the Soul Grinder. Get a little bit of work done there. Hello. Goodbye, infantry. Luminarch with the get off my lawn shot. Bada bing, bada boom. Big damage. Very nice. Dude, the Luminarch's such a menace. And the Sunmaker has arrived. Big volley. Big volley, big volley. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, Soul Grinder. You ain't looking too good, are you? I don't know about you, but I'd be a little worried. He chucks out the blue fire on the war wagons. I don't know if that's great for him though. Whoops-a-doopsies. Okay, he does get the exalted pinks on my face though. It's a little unfortunate, but I think we'll live. I gotta kill those exalted pinks. They're being real annoying. Most definitely. As you can see here, the Luminarch is doing a good job distracting though. I'm gonna turn off Fire Will, because we definitely wanted to be ready to take pot shots at these guys. Can I get the point is the question. I would love to get myself a capture point, but I don't know if that's possible. At least we're getting a lot of deeps over here. Luminarch gets a massive hit on the Kairos. It takes a hit from the Soul Grinder though. How many units? 16. Alright, good to know. A little sketchy. Gonna get some good deeps in though. If I can kill off the Soul Grinder, that's perfect. But of course, no guarantee. In fact, he actually routes the darn thing. Look at him go. A little unfortunate, but we'll live. Especially now that I have my cavalry in here. They can certainly get a lot of bullying done on all of these guys. I will be able to get myself a triple cap going. So that's pretty nice. I'd say overall it's not too bad. Ouch. Is that a second Soul Grinder? Guy just got a second Soul Grinder. All right. We'll see how that thing does. It could very well be a bit of a menace, actually. He's going to try and bully Elspeth. It's okay, though. He just killed all of his own infantry. Sure, why not? We'll take it. Kairos is bleeding, too. He does not like this. The Sunmaker is still alive. You gotta remember, too, I'm triple capping him. That's gonna make life a little difficult. Let's keep pushing over here. Let's get a greatsword, actually. He doesn't have a lot that can deal with the greatsword. And we're gonna use this terrain with the Luminarch to kind of line of sight him. That'll be a fairly good Mercurial shot if it lands. Let's see it. Pretty good one. I'll take it. And so far, so good, honestly. So far, so good. We have our war wagons still mostly alive. We have a whack load of cavalry at our disposal. Elspeth is chilling. I can definitely kill this Soul Grinder with but a little bit of work. That's a great Mercurial shot, too. He's gonna get more pinks, but I don't know what they're doing. And Kairos going to be in a little bit of trouble because the Soul Grinder can actually see him from behind this hill. If it actually lands a hit, the guy's dead. So I'd say this is an okay position. I think just the fact that he has to run double Soul Grinder is already putting him pretty far behind. It's going to be very hard to kill off these great swords too. We just have a very solid infantry advantage. I'm kind of just in the phase where I want to stall for as long as I can, and then we're good. Unfortunately, Soul Grinder does hit the Luminarch. I did overchase to try and kill Kairos. That misplay might cause me some issues. But how do you kill great swords when you've been teching anti-wagon the entire game? I must say, I'm a little skeptical myself. Elspeth still has her dirty magic. And I still have a Sunmaker. So that's pretty hype. Value trading wise, we're actually doing great. They don't have this far point, not even contested. And yeah, I think if we just stall, I think he's just screwed. It's gonna be very hard to come back. Kind of a weird game, I must say. I'm gonna shoot at the Forsaken. They can be a little bit more annoying than the Exalteds. But yeah, dude, Soul Grinders suck so much. If you force your opponent to bring Soul Grinders, they're kind of just screwed, man. Ooh, the Sunmaker is Sunmaking. What are those guys doing? They're lining up. Have I introduced you to Mercurial Shot? Boom. Boom. Mercurial shots for days. It's gonna summon another unit of Forsaken over there. I'm actually gonna ignore that for now, because I can totally just completely shut down this area. And you know, I can send in the Great Sword to deal with them. Totally fine by me. They're gonna take so long to get onto that point. And if he doesn't get this point, he's just triple cap screwed the whole time. I think that basically seals the deal. In fact, it's going so well, I can Buna the Forsaken. Okay, he's gonna punch Elspeth around a little bit. That's fine. But the question is, what do you do about the capture weight situation? Mad Lad has none. Effectively no capture weight. All the meanwhile, I have everything I could possibly want. A dead lord. Lots of cavalry. My opponent with 2 soul grinders that can't do anything. They can't even kill Elspeth, man. They might by the end of the game, but I don't think that's gonna be enough. Ah, hell yeah. This is going well.
Battle protocols.
Very nice. And yeah, we timed our greatsword movement perfectly. Then I just resummon the wagons. Just in case we go into a late game. I want to be able to get that trading done. Elspeth is gonna live because she's a boss. Kairos is so beat up too. Look at these great swords, man. Dude, they're such a menace. It's nice. It's like we have the double threat. He can't deal with everything. He also doesn't have enough blue fire to kill all the engineers. She's on foot. It's fine. I didn't even use magic this game, man. I really should have just taken Marcus. I thought I would take Marcus. That's gonna kill her though. It's fine. The great thing about Elspeth is she costs like pennies, so I'll just resummon her. It's all good. Look at him dodging with Kairos, so very smart. We do have some blues over here that we got to deal with. I think we're still doing fine though. Could use this mercurial shot just to clear the Forsaken, maybe. Or maybe not. Maybe we just keep bullying Kairos. And the pinks, I'm gonna get wagons. Honestly, if he's not gonna summon any cavalry, which is what he really needed. He really needed Centaurs here. But yeah, no Centaurs means I can totally just romp around and have a good time. This engineer can stall for a while. This great sword is just mulching him. And blues actually die to wagons, surprisingly enough. I should have saved up for the Elspeth resummon, but it's fine. Because I believe he's about to run out of time. GG, well played. Very nice, well that worked. That's 2 Luminarch wins in a row. GG, huzzah. That was nice. Dude, the Luminarch was so annoying. He got 1,000 value. He did kill it, but he summoned a second soul grinder to kill it, which I think actually might have screwed him. Yes, it did get a lot of value, but like he had no capture weight the entire game and no support for his infantry. Not having Centaurs was definitely really bad too. And we just kind of cleared the infantry. This is kind of a threat overload army. You can't kill all of this with blue fire and soul grinders. And it just leads to your death. Sunmaker was an amazing choice to clear infantry. If they bring double soul grinder, they can't rush your army down, so your artillery are safe. And they will cook. Elspeth was kind of useless though. I really should have replaced her with Marcus, but I was really hoping he would summon Centaurs. So it's probably good that we have an answer to them. Restock the Sunmaker? Oh my gosh. Need some Slaanesh tryharding? Dude. Honestly, a lot of people have some crazy tech versus Slaanesh though. Bully and batter that KFC chicken. Kairos did live in the end. Kairos is one of the hardest to kill lords in the entire game. But even Kairos was not enough. Here comes the sun. Summon another Luminarch. Very nice. Yeah, second Soul Grinder was kind of wild. If the Soul Grinder was cheaper, Tzeentch would... Like, I feel like the Soul Grinder, it can afford to be a bit cheaper. It doesn't nuke things like it used to before. Even bringing Spirit Leech to solve the barrier would have been alright. Yeah, I wanted her cheap though, because I felt like he was going to try and snipe her. And he did. The thing is, he used like 2 of his army abilities, 2 soul grinders, and a Kairos blue fire to try and kill a 750 gold unit. Honestly, fine by me. I guess if I brought Spirit Leech, she'd be 850, which is also basically pennies. Slaanesh ranged meta when? If those devotees ever have enough ammunition. They don't hit like dark shards though. They hit like puny normal crossbowmen. They weak. Yeah, devotee crossbows are just too squishy. They get countered by stuff people usually bring against Slaanesh anyways. They're just not super optimal, sadly. Missile resist and physical resist, like that matters. You don't counter range. You don't counter Slaanesh with missiles and physical attacks. Also, the phys res doesn't do much. It just like is pseudo armor. But like a normal cav charge is still gonna do a lot of damage, you know. They are I'm pretty sure with the physical resist, it doesn't make them more tanky than like a Saurus. They're still probably significantly less tanky because of the HP difference. But like, even if they had the same HP, I think the 60 armor of the Saurus might compete. Most people box up against Slaanesh. They box up against Slaanesh, but they bring abilities. Like, they bring Wind Blast abilities. So look at these guys. Look how little HP they have. They have 7,000 HP. 80 entities. Which is like, you know, kind of average. 30 armor though. Only 20% physical resist. So like, it really is not a big difference from like 60 armor or like, let's say 75 tops to 30 armor, 20% physical resist. You're usually not using missiles. So like straight up, these guys will just die to like a burning head. You know, anything that kills Slongors, which by the way, if you're not bringing a Slongor counter against Slaanesh, that's your problem. So you can assume they have a Slongor counter, which means they definitely have a devotee counter. Unless they want to shoot the Slongors to get to death, but that's also their problem. Clips is our next opponent. Yo. Yeah, if devotees were armored, that'd be a completely different story. Because then you have the mix-ups that require multiple solutions. But even if you ignore them, the worst part is they still don't do much. People can totally ignore the devotees and just let them shoot, and they won't do that much. It's kind of like an average amount of damage. Say it. Wood Elves. Oh boy. Wood Elves is an interesting one. They are actually very annoying for Empire all around. And on a map like this, even more so. So we're gonna have quite an uphill battle, actually. Unfortunate. Huh. Devotee dual weapons meta. They're like worse Slongors, hell yeah. Although, I will say they do fight surprisingly well in melee. If they were actually a little cheaper, they would be pretty good melee units. Their only problem is they get outclassed by Slongors and Forsaken. But I genuinely think they're not that far behind. Just like a little bit of a nudge. Let's see here. This will be interesting. Usually, I do not like this matchup. I'm pretty sure this matchup is typically very sketchy for the Empire side. That's because the Wood Elves have some crazy crazy strong cavalry. They got some really good infantry. They got some really good ranged. Empire have long rifles, but they're really easy to shut down with the Wood Elf tools. So if my opponent really knows what they're doing, then we may just be dead. But I am not one to surrender so easily. And the tech? Oh, the tech. It is certainly on my side. We can play to our outs, which is something that I do quite often. Where effectively, we accept that we're going to lose in some situations, and we're going to lose quite badly in some situations. But the number of situations where we barely win is increased. Because if you're going to lose anyways, you might as well lose harder in those if it can make you win in more cases. It's perfect. I don't know if Flagellants does well versus Dryads. I'm pretty sure they do atrociously. I'm pretty sure they Garbo. Huh. Interesting. I guess I could take one of these guys. Sure. Sure. Alright. This is a strange build, I'm not gonna lie. The odds of success, men, are low. It's extremely low. Oh, jeez. I was gonna come up with some crazy speech, but no, this is horrible. This is just straight up horrible. I can't even take more of the cav unit that I want to run. I guess I can do this. Alright, let's try it. Hopefully my opponent is not super proficient in this matchup, and we can catch him off guard. War wagon mortars. It's like mortars, but more expensive. I guess it can move. Man, it's such a price increase. War wagon mortars probably shouldn't be that much more expensive, right? What is a good price for the unit? Because, like, they get outclassed by normal war wagons so hard. Normal war wagons do so much damage to everything. The mortars would actually have to be... I think they would have to be cheaper than normal war wagons. Because if you gave me the choice of gunpowder wagons versus mortar wagons, yeah, I'm taking the gunpowder wagons. So we're talking at least like 800 gold. 500. It has to be cheaper than the mortars. Dang. Does it have less range? I'm pretty sure they have the same range. Just, I'm pretty sure it's a straight buff to mortars, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were like less accurate or something. When faced with failure, why not jump the shark? Exactly. Alright, here we go. It can be done. We's a loading in. So what better way to catch someone off guard than to use stealth? These long rifles, when they're hiding in the trees, they don't reveal themselves while shooting, thus making them much stronger against arrows of Kurnos. The Free Company militia are here to distract and bait out cavalry, for they shall see a bunch of huntsmen. No, they'll see a bunch of Free Company militia, potentially overextended. And mayhaps the overeagerness will have them try to charge in some cavalry, only to be netted and annihilated by the Marcus Wolfhard. That's the idea anyways. Can it be done? We got a Glade Lord over here. Got some Dryads, okay. Or a branch raid. We have 10 units, so he's gone for some sort of weird stealth shenanigan. Oh crap. No, not the arrows of Kurnos, no! Oh, the humanity. I was supposed to use the Empire Knights to defend against that. That's my B. Marcus needs to stealth up here. Gonna just see if we can bully these guys. Dang it. They got into the trees. Very unfortunate. Maybe we can dodge though. There's another Arrows of Kronos. That time the trees saved my butt. Very nice. Okay. It's an okay situation. I do have a lot of grenade launchers. I do have a lot of cavalry. Oh, Marcus is dead. Hey, what the? Why'd his net become single target all of a sudden? No, Marcus. Net him. Okay. He's gonna net the enemy lord. Counter net. Then we're gonna try and rush in with our cavalry here. While he's maybe distracted. Marcus will live, most likely. He did use the net, which is very important. Very nice. He's gonna focus fire the knights, but that's okay. They're just distraction carnifexes. And then over here, I can focus fire those wild riders. As I expected, you would bring wild riders. But the focus fire on them is going to be quite painful. And I do have a Vizard. Marcus lives too. Very important. Unfortunately, I think he's down for the count. I don't know if he's coming back. That part's a little less fortunate for me. But I will be able to kill off all these dudes over here. And these Eternal Guard just can't kill infantry. That's just not how they do. So, it's not that bad. I am obviously still behind generally. But it's not that bad. As we do rout off of those guys. Branch Wraith has arrived, but that's no problem. Not too bad actually. He gets a Melkoths. Still okay though. Very nice. And yeah, without cavalry, it's gonna be a little sketchy. Branch Wraith is kind of suffering too. Love to see that. And his archers have actually way pushed back. So what I really need to do is just turn this ticket lead into a value lead. I need to not overextend so hard. And focus on the value trades. Marcus returns! He's Chad. What an absolute hero. I can't believe it. Very nice. Good to see. Gotta make sure my cavalry don't overextend first though. We do have grenade launchers at the ready. They'll be great. A perfect unit for the situation, actually. Let's just yeah, scoot him up. He's gonna try and shut them down with his archers. He's gonna net them down with his lord. But will that be enough? Focus fire those wild riders. Boom, baby! Huge! Now he's worried about these knights. Very nice. Okay, so that's gonna mostly kill off those wild riders, thank goodness. And my opponent is at a huge cavalry deficit right now. That's gonna hurt. That's gotta hurt. Whoops. Yeah, he's at a massive cavalry deficit. Let's hide with these guys. Let's actually bog down his lord, maybe. We might be able to just straight up kill him. Okay, we have some wild riders coming in hot. We can bully them for sure. The grenade launchers have arrived too. Marcus needs to not reveal himself lest he die. But that lord is certainly taking a lot of damage. Unfortunately for me, my outriders are also taking some deeps. But this fight looks like it's going pretty well. My opponent will be able to get a few tickets going. But I got a pretty nice Bune on the wild riders. I'm feeling okay. I'm not feeling magnificent, but I'm definitely feeling okay. If I keep summoning in the cav, I could probably get some work done here. Marcus, unfortunately, is going to rout off again, though. What a guy. See, can we beat up the Waystalker? Oh, this will be nice. Maybe we can just focus fire the wild riders real quick. Very nice, very nice. Maybe I can catch that lord still if I'm lucky. Marcus, you be real careful, buddy. Marcus dies. That'd be so bad. I love that the long rifles have been cooking, though. They've been kind of perfect for this game. Caster is still chilling, too. Hell yeah. He's kind of getting bullied, though. He has to be a little careful about that branch rate, but other than that, he's doing fairly okay. It's a little late of a Buna on the Way Watchers, but whatever. You know what? Let's get another cav unit in. So far, the double cap is nice. The Way Watchers have been sufficiently bullied. They haven't been conserving their ammo very hard either. That part's very important for us, as it means they are actually going to be falling short a bit on the value train. Because you kind of need them for the late game cleanup. And when they're all dead like this, it's kind of unfortunate. Marcus with the sick net too. Maybe I can just kill his lord here if I'm lucky. Marcus's revenge? Maybe. That would kind of be perfect if we can pull it off. More Wild Riders have arrived though. Definitely got to bully them. And he goes for the caster. Interesting. Ah, what do you plan to do there? Well, Marcus is going to have to be a little careful. He's going to see if he can bully that guy. Thankfully, the Wild Riders over here are being beat up pretty hard. And that Lord is super low, just like Marcus now. Vengeance of Marcus doing pretty well, I must say. Actually, this is an okay situation. We're actually very ahead in terms of tickets. So as long as I can maintain that, I'm pretty happy. Marcus just taking pot shots at these dryads too, love it. I can probably kill off this branch rate too, they're quite exposed. Ooh, good charge though. Okay. So my opponent's making some plays on my infantry here with the big cavalry summon. That's gonna be a little scary. That's one of the main threats here with this style. This cav core here could completely ruin me if I'm not careful. I'm gonna feign that maybe I have a Buna and he should be worried. It's not the best strat in the world, but I don't have much else. Oh boy, they're coming in hot. Gotta be real careful. Here comes the cav. One of them's gonna connect, but just against the Wild Riders. At the end of the day, that's not terrible. It's not the best, but I think we're all right. Sadly for me, though, Marcus routes. I cannot save him from the snippet of snipes, but I can probably kill off the cavalry with a little bit of work. I just wish my knights were a little bit better at fighting in combat. The loss of Marcus is pretty rough too. Having taken so much damage in the early game is going to be quite nasty. I think I wasn't able to convert tickets into value fast enough. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. I think my opponent's going to win this, but I might as well play it out. Caster has come back too. Yeah, the rough thing is, as soon as they get that mobility advantage, you're kind of screwed. So, thankfully for me, he did summon the Wild Hunters of Kurnos here, but I basically have nothing left. I would need a pretty big miracle to win this. Though, the caster might come back. I don't know. Maybe I kill his lord if I'm real lucky. We have a lot of Free Company militia alive, I guess. And a decent cav charge. They really don't do much versus Wild Riders, though, I must say. Hey, caster comes back, though. Hell yeah. You know what? Maybe there is a chance. Dude, my cav cannot kill Wild Riders, though. Dude, they're struggling so hard. That's not good at all. I do have some cavalry coming back, though. You know what? Let's see how this goes. Caster got one last Buna before being routed off. I can't believe my full HP Empire Knights are struggling this much. A little unfortunate. Let's see if we can kill this branch wraith. A little bit of a volley on him. He's gonna get one last Melkots though. One last screw you to me. And these guys still captured just as quick as they would normally. And another Wild Rider has shown up. Yeah, I don't think there's a way I can kill these Wild Riders. Though? Okay, well, let's see. I'm gonna get the point. We're gonna be able to maybe bait him through my cav. No, he was charging the cavalry. Well maneuvered on my opponent's part. What I can do is I could resummon Marcus and maybe get a big leadership bump. Maybe. You know what? Sure. Surprise leadership. What's he gonna do about that? If I'm lucky, I kill his lord too. That would be huge. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but it would certainly be huge. And then maybe these dryads go down. Maybe I clear off the cav. Maybe his lord just straight up dies here. Who knows? She is certainly taking a lot of damage, and I did rout off a good amount of guys. If my opponent lightens up even a little bit, it's gonna be bad for him. In fact, there's the net. And there she goes routing. Okay, all right. I'm not gonna say this is still I'm not gonna say this is a winning position just yet, but it has significantly improved. Actually, it has significantly improved. Marcus has to get that snipe though, and I don't know if she's actually gonna die. I have bogged down his cavalry at least, and she does die. Lord lost penalty abound. All right. All right. Well, let's give him a run for his money then. We got a bunch of boys in here. He's gonna full push onto my cav. Let's see if we can evacuate them somewhere safer. No, they're gonna rout. Thing is, even without his lord, it's gonna be a little sus. Look, the huntsman just chasing the dryads, doing the best. Dude, that one wild rider. Dude, if Empire could actually have cavalry that could fight. Oh my goodness. But yeah, you really have to keep your range alive. Honestly, my opponent played very well. Now, this is not completely over. Maybe I steal back one of these points. I doubt it. He's probably just going to keep spamming cavalry. But this is one of those you never know situations. Okay, he's decided to dive Marcus. That's actually okay for me. Okay, we gotta chuck out a net. Okay. We're gonna try and steal a point, maybe. Gonna use the grenade launchers, even. Get him, grenade launchers. This is the most Hail Mary of Hail Marys, isn't it? Everybody disengage with these guys. Hell yeah. Okay, grenade launchers are on distraction duty now. Knock me onto the point. I need the tickets. At the end of the day, though, this is kind of the distraction point, right? What I really want is to steal one of these other points. Because he's going to be able to defend this, I think. I don't think I can get enough dudes on this. But maybe on this point I can, if my opponent is distracted enough. What do I have here? I have some scraps of dudes. I have a huntsman I can summon, sure. Alright, I'm gonna do this. Marcus will have another net in 40 seconds. That's a long time. You can see he's pulled the panic button. Can I get him killed in time? I don't think so. I honestly doubt it. Oh, he's pulling back. Now he's going in. He's pulling back. He's dodging. I don't know if that's a big misplay or not. That might be a big misplay. I can contest this far point too. Ah, but another wild rider has arrived. Now, if he overestimates his strength here, he could be screwed. Marcus does have a net in a few seconds. But you can see he's getting the big surround. Here's the thing though, Marcus is not bad. Marcus can certainly get the job done. Fairly good shots all around, big deeps. Marcus is going to gonna net these guys down. And then I'm going to, hopefully he doesn't look. Just look away. Look the other way. I hope he panics and tries to defend this point a bit more. That would be the best case scenario. He summons a Dryad. I'm gonna counter with the Cav. I do have some spears here, and he is losing a lot of units. The thing is, I don't have a lot of time. That's the issue. Now, Marcus is still a Jad. He's gonna do all right. Maybe my archers here can finish the job. He summons a branch wraith. The guy's out of expensive cavalry. If there's ever been a good sign, this is it. These spears can't get into combat. They'll just rout. Marcus is stuck, and he doesn't have a net. Come on, baby. Come on, I got the point half captured, and I have my guys coming in. I'm gonna need to hold it for a whole 80 seconds though, which is a very long time. And he's still gonna have a double cap, so I think he might just win off of that. Yeah, he's won on the 2 cap. GG, well played. GG, well played. Yeah, this map was very rough for me. I think I probably could have done it with some artillery. But honestly, we got it pretty close. I like the Jaeger Corps. There were just a couple misplays that set me back. Weight Watchers did not get a crazy amount of value though, which is quite nice. I think we put a lot of pressure on them, certainly. Honestly, if I didn't lose Marcus, if Marcus hadn't taken so much damage from that net early on, I think we actually might have won that. At the end of the day though, this map is super forested. It's just atrocious for Empire, who relies heavily on the cavalry. Really needed those mortar wagons? Yeah, that too. I know there are mass mortar strategies that can be really annoying for Wood Elves. Like Vampire Coast kind of does that. I don't think Sunmaker would clear. Sunmaker would get Arrows of Kurnos, but I think mass mortars would have cleared. Well played. Well played, good sir. We're still in 3rd place. That's enough to make top 4. You kept summoning range units into Wild Riders. Cavalry trade really badly into Wild Riders. You'd think that I should summon Cav to fight the Cav, but I'm pretty sure the Huntsmen did better because of their anti-large damage. At least they have more variability. If I just summoned Cav into Cav, I think I would just slow burn lose. Maybe I'm totally wrong, and if I brought in a couple more knights, we'd have done it. I give it a hard maybe. Ask nicely, they don't use the Arrows of Kurnos. It's a very strong spell. Now, if I wanted to beat something like that, you know, I did think maybe I could Cav Rush. It's not a great Cav Rush map, though. I kind of liked having a lot of ranged. The Huntsmen got pretty decent pressure on the Weight Watchers. If I had gone a big Buna on them too, and maybe a Cav charge, you can actually just straight up kill them. But I need 2 Bunas. And the moment the Bunas run out, he's going to spam Wild Riders. I do think mortars probably would have been the solution. Probably, because you have to spend multiple Arrows of Kurnos to clear them. But if you have a million mortars, what are they going to do? If they're dodging Sunmaker shots, yeah, you can dodge Sunmaker shots pretty decently. If it's summoned during the fight, though, it's fine. Anyways, I do think we can squeeze out a victory with some mortar shenanigans, like mortars, huntsmen, and then play a more defensive battle. Knights of the Blazing Sun are okay versus Wild Riders too. So let's compare them to Wild Rider shields. These guys are pretty nasty though. 1100, but they have 12 more speed. Less armor, some physical resist. They're a little less tanky, but they have frenzy. So they actually have better melee stats than my Knights of the Blazing Sun. That's crazy, man. Crazy. Wild Riders are really, really good cavalry. Their only weakness is they don't have that much armor. And some other high-statted cavalry can do really well against them, like these Silver Helms. Silver Helms are brutal. Especially at this price point. It's weird because Silver Helms usually suck versus everyone else. Hopefully we face them again in the finals, though. They're number 2 on the leaderboard right now. You don't think Silver Helms trade well? No, Silver Helms are the reason why High Elves versus Wood Elves is High Elf favored. At least for a time. Because you just run them into the Wild Riders. They're also more resistant to getting shot at. That's a big part. So even if the cav fight doesn't matter as much, the supporting fire is way less effective versus Silver Helms. Compare with Reiksguard. So Silver Helm with shield compared to Empire Reiksguard. Maybe I'm just taking the wrong cavalry. So Reiksguard are 1,100. They're gonna have a massive -12 melee defense, -2 melee attack. For 2 charge bonus. No, they have less charge bonus. Yeah, dude, it's night and day, bro. Silver Helms with shield, they're just Reiksguard with martial prowess. And 6 more speed, bro. Reiksguard technically have 20 armor, but that does not make a big difference. The HP difference is nice, but not as important for kind of these cav fights. At least how they tend to pan out. Yeah, kind of weird how it plays out, but yeah. I guess, yeah, Silver Helms do have less HP overall, but it cav fights, you know, 2 charges and the cav is dead. And speed is also very important. Nevertheless, I think I have some ideas to try against Wood Elves. I think not all is lost. But indeed, these kind of infantry shooty factions can sometimes have a hard time versus kite. Other times, if you have enough long rifleage, you can just shoot them to death. So it's kind of weird how it pans out. Handguns are okay. They do get outranged by Way Watchers, so a good enough player will just pick them off. I was thinking about Null and Ironsides, though. Long rifles for sure, though. If it takes, like, you know, Arrows of Kurnos do wreck them pretty bad. But if your army counters theirs, it's still just a benefit. Gunpowder maxing. I did like the grenade launchers. As kind of like a surprise gotcha summon. I wonder if Altdorf Griffites can trade well enough into Wild Riders. I think they get hit too hard by the Melkoths. Options. Free Company Militia also felt okay. It's just like a cheap shooty unit. War Wagon Mortars. How much did it cost? Oregon Mortars cost $950. Holy crap. Jeez. Yeah, this unit should cost like 800, man. They're worse than normal War Wagons. It's because all the campaign nerds love their artillery. Empire Captains. Empire Captains with the aura, like hold the line. They're okay as like just an annoying dude that can just sit on the point. I guess they can push some of their range tools. I will say they are exceptionally cheap. +4 melee defense, +5 melee defense, +4 leadership. Let's compare it to the Grill Relique. Guerrilla Relique is +5 melee attack, +8 leadership, and ITP 55 meters. Compared to the measly Empire Captain with a 35-meter hold the line. That's a very big difference. Yeah, Free Company Swarm was quite nice. I think it was okay. You get encourage. Okay, so you get a little bit more leadership. Sometimes you won't always have encourage. That is kind of useful. He is a better fighter. The guy actually has pretty decent stats. Interesting. Something worth contemplating, like legitimately. But I don't know. The guy, I don't know if he brings enough to the table. His stats are really high though. 50 melee attack, 40 melee defense. That is actually like, that's pretty solid. I'll have to consider. Crystal Lake is the next map. Very big, very flat. And we're up against dwarves. Empire vs. Dwarves is one of my favorite matchups. Can we win it? Can it be done? This is one of the worst matchups in the game generally. But only if you don't know how to defeat the dwarves. And I have a plan. The idea is pretty simple. You need to kite them. You need to like pseudo kite them. Rangers are very scary, but I'll show you guys in a bit. Knights of the Black Rose are pretty good here. Honestly, normal Demogryph Knights can be okay here also. Even normal Empire Knights can be decent. You're gonna need something to deal with Slayers. So Slayers are the unit that make this a little more awkward, but they're far from unbeatable for sure. And then of course you got great swords. Great swords, they speak for themselves. But Slayers. I need something to kill Slayers. Oh, let's put this guy in here. How do I kill Slayers? Typically, I would say your Slayer counters... You know, you can take infantry. They're a little slow, though. Empire infantry are just... They're just not fast enough to catch up. It's a little sad. Pistoliers are okay. You can just try to shoot them to death, too. Cavalry, this is a cav meta. They can do decently. I guess I could take this unit. I mean, kind of a weird build. I do need magic. Basically, you just need something that can kill bugmans, and you're fine. Okay, this is looking... This is looking like kind of a build. I know great swords are really good versus Slayers. You know what? Let's do this. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Big flat map. Dwarves, they are usually not ready for an Empire player who's played this matchup a ton. You did the nerd math about the devotees versus Slongor difference since that was discussed. It's pretty bad for devotees. They cost 50% more gold per HP. See, yeah, you get way less HP in general. They get 18 melee defense and a ranged attack. The individual model HP is only marginally better. Yeah. So like they're basically if you treat them as Slongors with a range attack, but you have to pay like almost double. That makes them seem real bad, doesn't it? He has a Slayer banner. Oh boy. He's about to slay it. What if it's just fake though? What if he's trying to debate me? Always a chance. Ready? Good luck, have fun. Let's do it. If he is Slayer maxing me, this is a pretty ludicrous amount of ranged. Yeah, we got crossbows. But no, he's gone for simple miners. That's pretty chill, actually. That's pretty chill. He has a couple slayers. I just need great swords to match him. Get one of them. And they will hang behind my ranged. I gotta start spreading out my dudes. You gotta use our thin red line tactics. Dwarves versus Empire is definitely a ranged battle. And if they don't bring rangers, well, I think they're just kind of screwed. Boris is amazing too. Boris absolutely wreck shot. And so far, so good. Now there are multiple slayers I gotta deal with here. So I'm gonna need multiple great swords. Boris gotta keep being careful. He's just gonna dance around a little bit. And I don't have to worry about the capture points that much. Oh, what a rough time. That's gonna prevent him from getting tickets. That's the most important thing. If Boris keeps feigning these charges, maybe I can get them to friendly fire each other. We'll see. Ranger great weapons are not super great here, by the way. They have a problem in that they don't outrange my guns. Boris can bully him too. A couple Slayer pirates, also not an issue. Alright, nice. Now I gotta start killing Slayers. That's not too bad. Fairly doable overall. Boris is doing a good job just distracting. And the turkey shoot begins. Now, there are rangers here. And they uptrade versus my guns extremely well. But here's the thing. Just because they uptrade doesn't mean you can't beat paper with just more rock. Okay, Boris is taking a lot of damage though. Yeesh. He's gonna make it out. Just barely in time. HP is a resource, it's okay. And I should be able to kill off these bugments. I have a burning head ready for them too. And if they stick around, they will surely just die. So I'm not too worried. Yeah, they're even running. Hell yeah. Okay, nice. Very good. I have to be careful about this push though. If he decides to just go for it, I am in trouble. But a lot of his units are out of position right now. What are you planning, good sir? He hasn't pushed yet. A little bit timid, I've noticed. My opponent doesn't want to just YOLO in. Which is quite different from how many dwarf players tend to enjoy this matchup. We did find some rangers. That burning head should do pretty well though. Melting those poor rangers. Very nice. And then we gotta outtrade his ranged and then maybe get some cavalry on them. I will say this wide dwarf army is not the best for us. Okay, now we're gonna have some slayers come in. This is what my great swords are for. My great sword reserve is definitely gonna help us out a lot here. Let's get the guard mode on, except for Boris. Okay, pretty decent damage overall. We're gonna have to back up though. I need to spend more time shooting them. The longer we just kind of sit back and shoot them, generally the better it gets for us. That's what we're gonna be doing. I have some cavalry now. It's gonna counter the rather large amount of just man tidiness that he has going on. He can't push this formation. I got two great swords at the ready. And I do have my Vizard. Now, how quickly can he reform ranks? Slayer is certainly taking a lot of damage. Bugmans ain't doing that good. They're just actually normal rangers too. The gunpowder is cooking pretty hard, which we do like. The wizard's here. He's just scouting for rangers, basically. That is his job. He has nothing else that he needs to do. I will say my opponent's letting me shoot him a lot. Now, this is a smart tactical play. If he feels like it's going to take me too long to clear out his army. I do have to be a little careful here. There's also the fact that I can actually run out of ammunition. As dumb as that sounds, you can actually burn all the ammunition of Empire. And win that way. It's pretty nasty. This is a good cleanup though. So Boris and the cleanup crew doing well. I'm just gonna chuck a raw burning head over there. And I'm gonna pull back with the cavalry. It's imperative that they survive. Then I'm going to use the great swords to handle this situation. A couple range units are not going to be a big issue. Burning head even clips a couple guys in the distance. Boris should be able to rout off the rangers. And he doesn't have a lot to deal with the great swords right now. As long as they can keep living, I'm happy. But I predict it will start making the big push soon. And I know there's some stealth units here that we can run down with the cavalry. So we're definitely just gonna go and do that. Just a couple rangers, perfect. He's made his slayers unkillable though. But maybe a little too early. If I'm lucky, we'll be able to get some good work in. That's a big hit from the Boris. The cannon is still cooking too. I can draw these slayers into this kind of kill zone here. Very nice. Big routes all around. The cleanup crew is doing well. Very nice. And I can kill off these miners, but we're still not done yet. There's actually still more to do, unfortunately. See how these guys are, these axe throwers are still alive. I definitely got to get them killed. Gotta kill off the blasting charges before they get a volley off. If they do, I'm also screwed. And then I gotta kill off these slayers over here. But the routes are solid. And I have a lot of reserve cavalry to mop up everything too. So I'm not too worried. It's not perfect, but I'm not terrified of the circumstances now. This is actually starting to pan out decently for me. Obviously, ticket-wise, it's gonna be a little sketchy for a bit. But as you can see over here, the boys have been able to get good work done. Those miners definitely want a piece of me though. Let's see, I have some crossbows at my disposal. We got the guns cooking. I just need my knights to get some more value. It's time to bring in some spears just for a little bit of capture weight. You are noticing I am running out of summons too. This is the pain of fighting the dwarves. Those blasting charges, if they kill my crossbows here, that would be so sad. I think they'll be okay though. And this push with the great swords is just going to be mega value. You can see this is a very interesting matchup though. I've thankfully played it enough to know how to put my opponent into a difficult position. But yeah, there's like a lot going on in general. That's a big route though. And that's probably going to be the end of him, honestly. I think he just got shot up a little bit too long. And if you take a bit too much damage from that, there's just not a whole lot of recovering you can do. Slayer Lord has made his guys unkillable again though. But all I really gotta do is just some cleanup. Just a bit of cleanup. We can just run away from the Slayers. They're fast for a dwarf, but that doesn't mean they are uncatchable. I do have to get this point though. Unfortunately for me, he's actually gotten quite a bit of work done. Boris is a menace, though. Boris is doing well. His long rifles are almost out of ammo. Gonna D some of those great swords. Gonna D some of these handguns, actually. No, they gotta get on the point. It's kind of awkward, but yeah, I really need some guys on the point. There you go. Finally got them routed. Gotta pull away the knights. Okay, and now it's a mad dash for this. Now Boris should be able to kill his lord, and that's gonna make his minor significantly weaker. I have to be very careful though. If Boris dies, I'm so screwed. Gonna see if we can shoot his lord to death, actually. Pretty good charge on the miners, at least. Okay. Nice, nice. This point is looking okay. I can de-summon you guys. And start bringing these guys over. Boris, don't you dare out. Looks like he'll be okay. Nice. And now it's all about spending my monies. So I gotta get this point captured fairly quickly. Ooh, Boris. Boris looking kind of sus. He's alive, though. The guy's alive. And I have great swords on this point now. So I have 5 minutes to clean up the rest. That's a fairly good pace for me, especially because the Lord's probably gonna die soon. But, definitely a closer game than I would have hoped for, considering I feel like my opponent let himself get shot a bit too long. You usually don't want the game to be this close. There you go. The Slayer should be dead. He's summoning onto the last point. He knows that is his last bastion. His last hope. Gonna see if we can bring this in. And I gotta start cleaning up all the infantry as early as I can. Guy's gone unkillable again. Very annoying. Very sketchy. Very sketchy indeed. I'm gonna need to just slow walk my guys on here so they can get the point. Fairly okay charge over here. Boris getting a little too feisty though. He's gonna have to disengage. Okay. Should be a decent burning head. Just chuck it right out over there. Then we're gonna snipe his lord. Actually gonna disengage with them so that we can get in here. Then I'm gonna snipe him with some cavalry, I think. But yeah, I just need a bunch of dudes to hang out on the point. Some dwarf warriors are not the end of the world. I should be able to just bully them. I do finally have my great swords in here too. We did kill their lord also. Part's pretty nice. You can tell he really wants to kill Boris. And here comes the big dive. So I gotta make sure I don't lose all my dudes doing this. Oh, he's really trying to snipe Boris. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Crap. 100 HP. That's not good. That's not good. We might still be okay though, actually. Even if he does kill Boris, he's kind of getting overrun here right now. I'll give it a hard maybe. These great swords are perfect for the circumstance. And if I can get my knights in, that'd be great. This little pocket ain't doing too well either. I think we're still okay. I think we're still okay. I just need to lose my lord to power up is all. Not a problem in the slightest. Wizard is still alive too. Okay, yeah, I just gotta get this point secured and we are okay. Though it's not completely over just yet. There are still a lot of range units at his disposal. I'm gonna need a lot of cavalry for cleaning up. I do have the point though, and a decent amount of space. Boris has routed But it is not the end of the world for him. That's a lot of range units, though. I'll wait till he gets on the point. That's when he actually becomes a problem. If he's just sitting back and value trading, I have time. Not a problem. Not a problem, even. Wizard can deal with those guys fairly easily. And this point over here, I just got to defend it with my cav, which I thankfully have a lot of. I'm going to get another crossbowman over here. Looks like my cavalry's doing okay. You just have to be a little careful. Crap. Get on the point, boys. Get on the point. Oh my gosh. Oh, what the crap. Oh, no, we got the point. I didn't even notice it flipped. Ah, crap. Well, that's not good. And he's spamming miners here now. Crap. Ah, man, I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna barely win on tickets. No. No. Oh. If he didn't get this point, I could have defended with cavalry. Why are they not giving an attack command? Oh, crap. Yeah. I'm gonna need to take this back, and I'm gonna need to double back over here to secure it. But I don't know if I'm gonna have enough dudes to actually win this. Crap, man. The dwarves got us. The Dowie. The power of the Dowie. Oh, so close. I wasn't able to get the deeps in. Brutal. Brutal matchup. I probably needed like a little like a Sunmaker or something. Ah. Oh man. GG, well played. GG, well played. Dang, did I make it then? Did we make it to top 4? We'll see. Brutal. Brutal. Let's take a look. Do enough people have 3 wins? Oh, he knocked me down. He took me out. No. Oh, wrecked by the dwarves after all that shooting. Ah. I could have played it slightly better. Losing Boris, though, was the big throw, though. It made everyone less effective. Dang, man. I know, I did better with Skaven than Empire. I even won some really bad Skaven matchups. But yeah, that's gonna be a bit too much. Dude. Aw. The Hammer of the Witches even paid for itself. All my guns did really well. Crossbows did really well. I misplayed with Boris, though. He took too much damage from the enemy lord. You need Boris as cleanup crew versus all this mess. And I was taking my points a little slower than I could have. Even though obviously I was getting a lot of shooting off. I could have pressed the points. I could have pressed the issue just a little bit more to just get the trading done. Giant Slayer's late game was the real deal breaker, though. Yeah, great weapon rangers. Yeah, he got one real nasty volley on him. That's how it goes, though. Oh, I might still make it to top 4, though. I might actually get a rematch. Wait a second. Maybe. Let's go. I got a rematch. Hell yeah. Okay, I have a chance. I have a shot at redemption, people. Top 4 has arrived. We're on putrefying carcass. Ah, hell yeah. All right, this is it. This is it. All right. Yeah, giant slayers were a big problem. This time we can learn from our mistakes. You have to redeem Boris now. It's either that or I take Volkmar. Volkmar is not a bad option because he also gives capture weight. Sorry, I was reading you talking about Pistoliers. Was that a Slayer Rush? No, just a mass infantry build. Pistoliers are okay, but they don't offer that much. I almost want grenade launchers, man. Just grenade launch crew 'em. I think we can totally tech a build. I can totally get a sick tech build here and mess them up real bad. Dwarves did get a buff in this matchup though with the Slayer strength boost. We must be wary. This is a good starter build at least. It's a fairly good starter build. More great swords. Great swords are really nice. You do need your ranged to clear off enemy range. You can kind of make do without though. Especially with a build like theirs. I don't know if they're mixing it up either. Who knows? Maybe my opponent has some wild mix-ups. But in general, the build is not... It's not that complicated. Like it's or at least dwarves, they can't really mix it up that much. So I think with a little bit of work we can make this happen. Honestly, I think Empire Knights might be better than Knights of the Black Rose just because they're cheaper, so they can hit more range units at the same time. Greatsword spam is just solid. So if he doesn't have range, the greatswords kind of just cook. I just need a little bit to shoot up the Slayers is all. Which can totally just be something like this. Nice. Spear, lucky spear for capture weight, and then we call it a day. You do have to be careful about gyrocopters, by the way. There are actually some really annoying gyrocopter builds that Empire can field, which they are quite nasty. Like a massed gyrocopter build can totally ruin your day if you're not careful. Let's see here. He saw that I had a lot of guns last time, though. I think the odds of him spamming gyros is pretty low. It doesn't hurt to be safe, though. This is an yeah, this is an okay build. All right, let's try it. Mercurial shot worth it. It's not bad. You can try to just gun kite the dwarves. War wagons with mortars again. Luminarch. I will say this map is interesting. It can help me in that he can't field that much artillery. I did bring Boris again, by the way. Boris is just really good here in general. I just have to be a little bit more on point with keeping him safe. And we're good. Fingers crossed. Potatoes Devil and Mr. Razak are fighting on the other side. And as you can see, I've brought a very different build this time. Opting for the grenade launchers to clear off miners and such. Last time he went pretty hard on the Vanguard miner strat. So I'm kind of thinking if I just do this. Maybe he's just not prepared. Ready, good luck, have fun. Maybe he's not prepared and he loses a lot of miners. Players usually don't have mix-ups for matchups that are this favored for them. Unless they really love the matchup or it's like a very popular faction. But Empire, you don't see that often. This build is weaker versus... It's weaker versus some builds for sure. Land ship aquatics. It doesn't have aquatics, right? It should. Shit though. But yeah, we'll see what he goes for. He's going for massed artillery. That's kind of wild. Interesting. And thunderers. Huh. Very weird. Sure. Return fire. And a lot of ranged. Okay. That's actually an uptrade for the grenade launchers. And the Sunmaker's blasting them now. That's pretty funny. Grenade launchers are cooking. What do I want next, though? I'm gonna need more stuff. I think a range unit's not bad. You have to be a little careful with them, but definitely not bad. His artillery's kind of mispositioned, too. And I do have the triple cap. This is a really weird build. But the Sunmaker is going to give him a lot of trouble here, especially against these range folks. This is basically just him trying to uptrade, essentially. He's just trying to hard uptrade and then capture with his little hero squad. But I can use Boris to put an end to that. Okay, that ain't too bad. Here comes the mass summons, though. So he has some miners. It's a Trixie build. It's a Trixie build. I'm not super worried about it, though. I feel like if I micro these guys correctly, we'll be okay. Boris, again, though, kind of overstaying his welcome. He can disengage at least. That Lord cannot heal, but I have to be very careful that he doesn't die. Now, we did capture the point with Boris. That's pretty good. If I keep my guys moving, that'll make life a little harder for him. A Bright Wizard for capture weight is not the worst. I can use Boris, of course, to clean this up. Yeah, he's basically just stealthing it like crazy. I think I can focus on the Valley trading, though. It's a very strange build, though. A very strange build. That's a good pick, at least. Got a unit of miners. And I can start bullying the artillery pieces soon. He's dodging with his Lord. I see. And those guys are still alive. Now, Sunmaker's still good. But, yeah, I very clearly have to clear off this artillery problem. If I do, though, that's a big value gain for me. He's doing a good job, cycling his stuff, though. But if the artillery's open enough, I think we just get it. And if he gets the capture points, who cares, right? The value would be mine. So I think that's what we're gonna do. He just summoned over here, which means he's rather ill-prepared to defend his artillery. His oh-so expensive artillery, mind you. Gonna keep dodging. I can dodge, too. He can dodge with his lords. I can dodge with my stuff. Very nice. Looking like my cav is doing okay. And this is good. Battering his artillery to death is certainly a path to victory. Now, my knights are really getting bogged down by the miners. They're going to need to go for an escape. The grenade launchers aren't having the best day of their lives either. But these rangers, at least, I know I can bully. All the artillery's dead, too. Very important to note. And now I can start getting the great swords in. Perfect for situations like this. His artillery's just completely dead, too. He really overcommitted on this side, I feel. Very nice. Sunmaker doing Sunmaker things. Those are Thunderers. That's not the end of the world. I just have to keep running. Just keep running. I can actually bring in archers to kill off these guys too. Very nice. Okay. Alright, I can use grenade launchers to kill off the artillery also. And this is a good shutdown. Ticket-wise, I am in no rush. We can take our sweet time. As his artillery bites the dust. Grenade launchers have done amazingly. We finally killed off all of those guys. I just need the Sunmaker to cook, but this is all melee. I think his build change might have screwed him. his build change and being unable to defend his artillery pieces, feeling like he has to play a little bit more aggressive. It appears to be causing him issues. Still a very difficult battle, but one that I would say is going well for us. Unlike last time. Look at that cav. Look at him cook. That's such a huge plus for me. And we have the great swords on this point. Ready to slow him down yet more. I have some grenade launchers at the ready. Doing some amazing work. And if I continue to value trade, life should be pretty solid for us. Now, one artillery piece is going to be able to survive most likely. That is okay. Great swords are simply too ready to fight. You'll have a very difficult time dealing with the great swords. Very difficult time indeed. I do have to make sure I actually chase off these fools, but that's pretty doable. Let's get another great sword in here. Grenade launchers are cooking very well. Nice, we got the miners off this point. I think we may be getting it done. Some thunderers here, though, are a problem. And he has captured this point. He has a little bit of a surround on these guys. Now, that's far from the end of the world. I actually have this guy with some burning head. And Boris can probably start cycle charging his Thane slowly but surely. Just kind of like eventually get him killed so he's not just infinite capture weight forever, you know? Should be a pretty decent burning head over there. Yeah, and Boris's charge is nasty. He's gonna have a few range units. Can I line of sight him? This map does have some hills that are good for line of sighting. But yeah, I will be able to get this point. Very nice. I can push my grenade launchers to get this one too. And yeah, we're just gonna let Boris cook. Yeah, there may be one more artillery piece left alive, but it doesn't do nearly enough damage anymore to warrant a reaction. A couple rangers are also not really a big deal. We can just kind of ignore them. And his lord is certainly suffering. Gotta be real careful here, though. What do I want to summon? We spamming ranged, probably cav. That should do pretty well. Gotta keep my cavalry alive for sure. And here we go. We're gonna get the cavalry in. So Wizard's just going to secure the point. I do have a second point now too. And we'll see if his little squad of dudes can actually get the job done. I'm pretty sure Boris is just a little too strong this time around though. And if Boris lives, it's basically done for my opponent. Value trading's pretty good too. And here comes the cav charge. He's gonna try and get his guns to stop the cavalry, but they can just line of sight him. There goes his lord. You see, he's trying to pivot. He wants to get good line of sight, but I'm not giving it to him. And here comes the sick cav push. The artillery is dead. The triple cap is on its way. And I think this map definitely favored us much better this time. Now he's mostly just going to be vanguarding. And he doesn't have enough of an advantage to summon giant slayers, which is very important. I must say, though, it's interesting to see multiple builds for the dwarves, but having the artillery completely exposed is what did him in. I think the last build my Sunmaker would have done pretty well against, though, so I don't think this is a walk in the park for my opponent. And honestly, having a bunch of skirmishers versus a quad trebuchet or quad grudge thrower build is pretty bad for me. I think we just kind of outmaneuvered him. Boris again though, getting a little low. It's okay, HP is but a resource. Can I capture this point anytime soon, though? We're really taking our sweet time with it. He actually has capture weight right now. Double unfortunate. Water does not make you more resistant to Burning Head. Good cleanup over here, though. Let's move the cav back. At this point, I'm mostly just up trading because I know I have a ticket lead. If I can just keep that up, I'm happy. And my opponent was pretty feisty, though. I must say, they are a very proficient dwarf player. Definitely gave me a bit of a run for my money. His lord's about to die, though. And once that lord is dead, all hope is lost. It'll be nigh impossible to come back without him giving that extra leadership to the minor Spain. Boris gonna come in for the kill. I got my great swords at the ready. Very nice. Boris needs to disengage again. I assure you, he's trying to snipe Boris with all he can. With all his might, he wants Boris dead. So, no Burning Head. Not just yet. He's not going to capture this point, though. I have too much stuff. And archers will be perfect for killing off the Slayer spam. Wow, what a charge from these guys, though. Jeez. But yeah, look at them great swords. Great swords cooking. I was a little slow to secure this point, but that's okay. We're still focused on the value trade. And he's basically army wiped. Guy has like no units left, bro. He's got like nothing left. Boris is just taunting him now. He's just taunting him now. Is he gonna go for the snipe? Boris with the big hit on his lord. Hell yeah. Look at that, though. Look at this positioning to take the point so that my great swords can't hold it. It's done, though. Oh. Jeez. Though. What a match. Magic, though? Yeah, we got magic. I'm not spending it a lot, but I don't really need to. Oh, my goodness. All right. We did it. Oh. What? Man, that was a tough one. Sunmaker paid for itself in spades, though. 2,000 value. I technically could have used it to uptrade his artillery, too. We just dodged his artillery really well. I think this might have been trying to counter my ranged spam build. He was worried I would just take the same build, but better. Because if you go for a bunch of crossbows and guns, this isn't going to do super well, right? Slayers got shut down pretty hard. Love to see it. And look at them grenade launchers. Mega value. Boris lived too, barely. You really have to try squeezing as much value as possible in these unfavored matchups. And the caster, he did pay for himself, so I guess it was worth. Terrifying opponent, though. Well played. And that means we're going to be up against the winner of Mr. Razak and Potatoes Devil. Potatoes Devil. There we go. Nice. Oh. Let's do it. Just a question, what matchup is Morker viable in? Not many, unfortunately. Morker has... he has spawn summons, which are nice. He used to be really popular in Warhammer 2. I don't even know what made him fall off. Maybe Flock of Doom being a stronger spell, making Malagor much more potent. Although he did have Pendulum before, right? Torox was popular when he came out, but he fell off. A lot of people are just going Great Bray Shamans. But there's just not really much need for a super tanky lord that can summon Spawn. Especially at this price, he ends up being a little expensive. Yes, this is multiplayer, indeed. You feel like his last build would have done better? With the Vanguard of Miners, his last build would have gotten a lot of damage from grenade launchers. The grenade launchers were specifically attacked in case he took the same build. Ooh. Boris lives and I win. Boris was the solution the whole time. The whole time. I'm gonna be up against, let me see. Who's next? Yeah, Potato Zelvin with Zach. So it's either Potato Zelvin on Grand Cathay or Zach with the counter pick. What's the map? Imperial Road. It's an okay map. You need Morker to make good build up and push versus shooty factions. He is good versus shooty factions. You can kind of just march him in. Maybe if it was land battle, but Domination does not like Footlords very much. Domination, the field is much bigger, so maybe that's why we're seeing Malagor more. Because Morker, you can kind of just walk away from. Spawn are underrated, been saying it for ages. Well, take Spawn and win then. Just do it, man. Now is your opportunity to make sick plays. Change the meta. I'm definitely not going to run Spawn. I've run them before. I have not been able to figure out how to make them work. I don't think they're terrible, but they always feel worse than other monstrous units. The speed is a little lower. I wish Spawn were underrated. Oof. Rough times. They did get a global nerf back when they were popular. And then people stopped taking them. During Warhammer 3 launch, every Chaos faction would run them. You'd see Spawn of Khorne, you'd see Spawn of Slaanesh, you'd see Spawn of Tzeentch. The only Spawn you wouldn't see is Spawn of Nurgle. But that's just Nurgle things. And like, man, they were crazy. Ubiquitous. For their consistency. The fact that they can't route. There were not a lot of ranged factions back then. So they couldn't be shot. The capture points were much more cagey. You're basically only fighting for 1 point, so you don't have to maneuver and transfer between points. All that made Spawn significantly better, along with many choke points. And having a unit to hold the line in a corridor was just perfect. Back then, there were literally no other options. For Nurgle, there was. You know, Nurgle would actually spam Plague Toads instead of Spawn. Khorne had Flesh Hounds, which were very good. I don't know if they had Minotaurs at the time. But Flesh Hounds were certainly very good. I guess they kind of ran both. I guess there really weren't many other options, so all these are Chaos units. The cavalry always sucked. They got that charge animation though. They do have a pretty sick charge animation. Is that gonna make the unit crush it though? Bird got you with the corn. Corn spawn, dang. I will say though, Bird is a pretty good player. And Corn vs Wood Elves is actually not that Wood Elf favored. You have to be pretty proficient at kiting to kill off the Corn units fast enough. It's still pretty good for Wood Elves if you just go for, like, you know, this build. The filth. This is actually an extremely filthy build. You do this on ladder, you'll win most of your games. You don't even need most of the stuff on the Lord, you know, just make them super cheap. The reason you have so many poison archers is because they actually have more armor piercing, 7 to 4 armor piercing, than the normal variant. So if you're worried about armor, you go for this. If there's no armor, you can cheap out a bit and go for more normal Glade Guard. Like this. But the poison guys are just always good. Back when there were 5,000 points and you had to wait 3 minutes, the golden age. Yes, golden totes. All right. Can it be done? Can we pull a victory? Grand Cathay versus Empire is kind of weird. That one kind of just becomes a shooting match because both factions can't really rush effectively. So you have crane gunners versus long rifles, cannons versus grand cannons, my bad. Fire rains versus Hellstorm rocket batteries. And that's basically it. You can try to pull a sketchy rush where you're just swinging in with a million Jade Lancers. That can certainly catch them off guard. But as long as your build prepares for that, you're pretty good. I don't think Celestial Lion tech really does much there either. Most of the range units, they do have better range units. They have shielded crossbows, much like the dwarves. So that's a little scary. 160 range. Is that Dwarven crossbows are 160. Empire crossbows are 160. They're all 160. So there is a little bit of that, but you're usually not getting into like a normal infantry shooting match. I kind of wonder if great swords do well here though. Probably not, because I think the chrome and shock damage is a bit much. But yeah, I think it's yeah, it's a decent setup. It is a decent setup. You don't like pointy ears? Have we fought an elf today? Just the Wood Elves contributed to one of our losses. 3 wins though, hell yeah. 3 wins. My opponents have not messaged back, by the way. We're still waiting on them. Personally, if I had to choose between Potatoes Devil or Razak, maybe Potatoes Devil, because it's Cathay, I won't get counterpicked. Nice. And I think it's Razak that has won, because they're the one messaging me. Alrighty, let's do it. Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. So, Imperial Road. Empire. What are they gonna counterpick me with? Want to be like dwarves? Honestly, we beat Bretonnia. That was pretty fun. I didn't expect to beat Bretonnia with the infantry against max cav, especially when my Hellblaster wasn't doing well. Wood Elves? Wood Elves, Dwarves, and... honestly, Nurgle can sometimes be scary for Empire. But if he picks Nurgle, I'm facing Nurgle. Come on, what you got? Give me your worst. He could go for a High Elf Kite. You could try to mob me up with greenskins. Mass infantry can do well versus Empire. With good enough kite, though. War Wagon Kite with grenade launchers. It cleans up pretty well. It's just the archers that you gotta be worried about. I will say, though, dodging the crossbows with the grenade launchers felt sick. I did like that. Would be happy to get more of that action done. What else is there? Tomb Kings? Tomb Kings? I don't know how Tomb Kings does. That's a weird one. Land ship it? We don't even know what I'm up against yet. Land ship for life. Always land ship. Full power. Turn speed minus 70%. Now, you don't really notice that, though, most of the time. I could do some Black Lions. Black Lions doesn't get suggested enough. Everyone loves the Luminarch. This map's not good for the Luminarch, though. Too many hills and trees. Steam tank. It's been a while since we've gone for just a filthy steam tank SE build. You need a faction that's specifically weak to single entity spam. But yeah, the life wizards are engineers. They can just straight up heal the tank metal. The less bad land ship? Is that the steam tank then? I'm not taking the war wagon mortars no matter what. Nothing will convince me except someone beating me with war wagon mortars. Then maybe I will start considering it. But I have not seen anyone except for myself use this unit. Not a single person, okay? For every time I use this unit, all you guys gotta use it. How about that? Yeah, now they don't seem very good, do they? I want you to get onto one of Turn's streams and win a match with War Wagon Mortars, and I'll play it as much as you want. I'll play it as much as you want. Sleeper OP. I'm using it right now. Let's see it. Watch Mr. Razak play Empire. Beat me in the mirror with War Wagon Mortars. If that happens, I'm quitting for life, man. I'll quit for 10 seconds. Quit till Monday. Want to see a Witch Hunter? Yeah, Witch Hunters, they used to have a Spirit Leech effect. Like, this ability would straight up be a Spirit Leech. It's kind of cool. Ponty gonna ask for Hydras. I think Hydras are actually a lot better nowadays. The healing they get is pretty extreme. The only problem is they route super easily, but aren't there guys that help their leadership? Or is it just Rakarth? Rakarth Hydra would be truly wild. Beast Lord's Gaze. It's a 40-second plus 16 leadership effect. That is a lot. It also stops Rampage. It also gives damage resist. You could totally do that with the Hydra. And if it doesn't die, like it's gonna heal cap. You have some sick breath attacks. It is actually very resistant to kite, I found. Then again, said the good trust. I would rather run Hydras than the mortar wagons, for sure. All right, messages are done. Beastmen, Dark Elves, Tomb Kings. Beastmen, Dark Elves, and Tomb Kings. I kind of want to play versus Tomb Kings. I'll go versus Tomb Kings. Tomb Kings are a faction that are in a little bit of a weird spot right now. Personally, I think Tomb Kings, I don't know if they're good. I think they're pretty good versus the melee factions. But against like heavy shooty factions, are they good? I don't know. They got like the skeleton horsemen and the like. Like that's pretty interesting. But like that's it though, right? They just have a bunch of really cheap cavalry, which my armored cavalry counter very hard. They have a whack load of infantry, admittedly, but it's not like we can't kill infantry as the Empire. They hate Burning Head, that's for sure. Everyone clowned Ponty until he proved everyone wrong. You could do that for mortar wagons. I wouldn't say he proved everyone wrong. Well, okay. Technically, on a technical note, he proved everyone wrong that Hydras were hot garbage, but they're still not that great. Case in point, the Medusa's a unit. So while it is true, Ponty has done the most out of anyone else in the community for making the Hydra look better than we thought. Is it really enough to say he proved everyone wrong? I don't know, man. Hydra's pretty bad. Hydra's kind of I don't know. It slows down your army a lot. And like it seems to only work versus lesser factions like Kislev. Where like, okay, yeah, you can kind of, they don't have that much shooting, but they like to go shooty builds. So the Hydra tends to live. But also like if you can chase it off well, it's just, I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe it is okay though. Maybe the unit ain't terrible. It's just hard to say. Now, what are the Tomb Kings gonna run? The possibilities are truly endless. The thought of a man tide does bring a little bit of fear my way. Just crazy Tomb King's Mantide could be the death of me if I'm not careful. Lord wise, I think this is probably the best. Can't go wrong with this. If I was Tomb Kings, how would I? If I was Tomb Kings and I saw this as my opponent's build, I think I would feel pretty bad if I was playing Tomb Kings and I saw this. How would I even counter this as Tomb Kings? That doesn't work. That doesn't work. I feel like this is just really good. Let's see here. Anyone on Discord, do not restart it. Just having API issues. Rough. Oh my gosh, a Tomb Scorpion would be crazy. Talk about Warhammer 2 meta. Tomb Scorpion would certainly be something. Is it good? Kind of hard to tell. Maybe. Maybe the Tomb Scorpion's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna need... How much cavalry do I need? How much cavalry does one really need if you're facing Tomb Kings? They're gonna have a whack load of infantry. I could just run this. I could just run this, call it a day. I think I have a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything. Generally speaking, I think Empire likes facing Tomb Kings. Final game of the day. All right, let's do it. But yeah, most options that they could bring, I don't think are very good here. I think the only way Tomb Kings wins is if I... Let me check. He's taking his time with the build. Probably wants to get that tournament win to qualify for grand finals. But if we go over here and look at Tomb Kings, they have infantry galore. Skelly archers. These guys just suck. These guys lose to Empire Knights. This is a bad idea. I don't think this will do well. None of this will do well. None of this will do well. You're gonna bring a Kembrian War Sphinx. You're gonna bring a Bone Giant. It's gonna go for the raw power of double Bone Giant. Screaming Skull spam. Dude, I see nothing here. I see absolutely nothing here that like crushes my build. The only thing I could see going wrong is if something performs better than I thought it should. So let's say he runs like a double Bone Giant and they're actually amazing. Then yes, that would be pretty unfortunate for me. But we're talking about double Bone Giant or Necropolis Knights being amazing or something. That the odds are too low for that to make sense to me. Tomb King is so boring. Really? How do you feel about the other undeads? You think Vampire Coast and Vampire Counts are boring? Are you just a speed demon like me? You like the mobility? Or maybe you like gunpowder. They don't got no gunpowder. Egyptians with skeletons. You know, technically, we have Egyptians with skeletons in real life. Crazy. Be so funny if you got crushed now. Honestly, I'd welcome it. Always nice to Have your mind expanded to learn a bit about the meta? Blood Knight maxing with vampire counts. We got an undead player, Dozer. Alright, this is it. The final match of the tournament. Can it be done? I have a cannon.
Ready for war!
I have a Marcus. With the net. It's terrifying. And what is this? A bunch of spears, a bunch of infantry. We're gonna position like this so that he doesn't just ram my front line with a bunch of chariots or something. But the real threat are these guys. Unbreakable little dudes. That'll just sit there and punch his face in. Now I have to be a little careful about these trees. There's always the threat that he loops some cavalry around and catches my ranged off guard. That's definitely a worst case scenario for me. So I'll just position like this. We have a cannon to blast his units from the far away. And that's basically it. The cannon's gonna force him to attack into me. And when he inevitably does, he gonna die. You can't use big monsters against null Ironsides and long rifles. Obviously, we have a bit of a main tide action going here.
Listen up, huntsman.
And okay, he wants to go for the main tide build. Okay. That's pretty chill for me then. That's actually pretty chill. So Marcus can just sally on up here. He doesn't have Spirit Leech. He actually doesn't have a lot of magic at all. So one thing I could do is just like line up my infantry and play super cagey. Because he doesn't have anything to break a box. That's pretty funny. I kind of like that. Alright, now what are you gonna do? He summons the Screaming Skull Catapults. I think that's a misplay because my artillery piece is here. But maybe he manages to line of sight me. Sunmaker would be good. But what does he plan? So I can't use grenade launchers versus the Screaming Skull Catapult. Or I could, but it'd be a little risky. What do you got planned for me, good sir? Here's the thing, the cannons are just gonna cook. And Marcus is gonna capture the point. Gotta respect the box. Every once in a while, the land battle boxing can come to a game near you. And indeed, Sunmaker has arrived. I'm actually just gonna pull back a bit, so the Sunmaker doesn't have to roll up so far. He's got another Screaming Skull Catapult. What? So he actually wants to catapult me to death. Wild. Absolutely wild. Okay. So that's interesting. I got my capture point though. Very interesting play we got here. Is it going to be a build-up? You can't really do a build-up with only one capture point though. He's gonna dodge that Sunmaker shot. What do you have planned? He's just gonna slow walk with the catapult for 50 years? Alright, that's kind of wild. So we got the slow walking catapult. Interesting. Huh. Now it is going to flank me eventually. Give it 50 years. And it will pull it off, okay? Do not underestimate the power of the slow walk catapult. He has a lot of cavalry coming in. Okay. Just gonna keep blasting with the cannon. Gonna increase our formation a bit here so I can get some archers in. I just made a video about false gaps and we're doing none of that today. We're going extremely tight on the formation. Interesting. He's fully pulling back. Okay. He's so far back, I can straight up use Marcus to capture the third point. That's wild, man. All right. Now, this means when the fighting gets going, I have to play pretty quickly. If I don't, we're in trouble. But yeah, there's gonna be battle of the compositions. Who has the better composition? With so much artillery, it's gonna be a little sketchy. He's so far back though. The guy's miles away. I don't know if the Screaming Skull Catapult is gonna get that flank off this month. Well, let's see. Marcus is capturing your third point. You have to make some sort of play, good sir. You can't just... It's a Tomb Scorpion. What the crap? It's actually a Tomb Scorpion. Well, that's wild. Sure. Alright. It's a real Tomb Scorpion. Kind of scary. Sure. He's dodging with it. Alright. Sunmaker is sunmaking his Screaming Skull Catapult. Is he dodging with the Screaming Skull Catapult? He just unmounted. He just dismounted the Screaming Skull Catapult. What a guy. Okay. And now begins the big push. I don't actually need to get this point. I just need to get him to advance is all. This artillery piece I'm not too worried about. If it dies, it's okay. We are okay if it dies. His catapults are miles away. And we can pivot the Sunmaker to start blasting his infantry. This is going to be a big push, so I should think about chucking some magic his way. Because I don't want to end this battle with magic in the bank. That could be very bad for me. But yeah, this is already looking kind of rough. Big damage on the skeleton warriors. Next up we go for the Tomb Guard. Marcus is getting free pot shots off. Artillery piece is bullying his Ushabti. Look at that Sunmaker. Just absolutely clobbering his lines. In fact, he has so little here to contest. I can actually bring in grenade launchers to bully him as he advances. Because he's not in this middle area right now, right? That's the thing. Ushabti is still getting hella bullied. I don't need the cannon to live either. It can just chill. So there go the Doom Guard. I don't want to split my damage too much though. If I do, that could screw me over. He actually does have Ushabti great bows. Interesting. We'll see how that pans out. But so far, so good. Grenade launchers are having the time of their lives. And he's still not going for it. He's still not going for the point. That's wild. Well, this burning head should be nasty. Let's get another grenade launcher volley on that infantry over there. Very nice. Big deeps. There's the passive triggered. But I think we're still doing well. The burning head catches many of his units. And yes, he will be able to kill off my little artillery piece here. But I don't think that's a big issue. Skeleton warriors are suffering. Very nice. The big fight is a go. Now, I can actually make it where I win on a one capture point if I don't give him this point right away. And that might be just enough to catch him off guard. We're lucky. I'm gonna need to get the capture weight here ASAP, but it's not like he has a lot to actually deal with these guys. Here comes the flank. I don't think this flank will do very much. I simply have too many guys. And let's see how this goes. Capture point is being held. And will he have enough? This burning head should be massive. We're gonna catch him off guard with some cav summons now. Very nice. As the big fight comes in. His Ushapti summon won't do too much, I don't think. As long as I hold on to this point, I think we're okay. We're still gonna have to uptrade, and I need to hold on to them. That's actually the most important thing right now. If I lose the points, and he wins on tickets, well, I'm just screwed. That's a fairly good net, though. But if I hold on to them, and he has to start down trading, then victory is ours. So that's the plan. While his cavalry's distracted, we're gonna get some grenade launchers up the pipe. We got big burning head coming up very soon too. His magics is not very effective here. I still have my guns. This is gonna be a dramatically powerful burning head. Very, very nice. Value trading is going well, and you can see we do win on a 2-cap now. My opponent was very passive in the early game, and now is the time we punish him for it. By suddenly going aggressive and holding this point, now he's kind of screwed, right? You can tell my opponent, he's probably thinking like, oh crap, I'm gonna need to capture this back point, and all the units that are over here are just not going to be very effective. Marcus is doing great for himself too. Grenade launchers are super freed up because we decided to save their reinforcements. Because we did not reinforce with them right away, we can wait until his cavalry are bogged down to get him in. And the build up was actually to a disadvantage too. Building up here, he actually summoned a unit that was very weak to the rush. Oh, that's a great grenade launcher volley too. And yeah, that's just gonna mess him up. Very, very painful. We didn't even need to play super cagey. And I know Empire's bad at recapturing points. Excuse me, that's why we went for this kind of more aggressive point holding strategy. Is he gonna get the... Oh, he got the day summon though. Pretty huge. That's pretty funny. What the? That's a real Ushapti this whole time. But yeah, it's gonna be very hard to take back points. And if this had gone to a super long late game, it might have actually been a little scarier. But right now, we're kind of in a game that's going to end fairly quickly. And the only reason I went for this, by the way, is because I knew that we'd be fine. When you have all the when you have so much artillery being summoned in, it's just gonna be a little rough. Let's bring this guy back in. Very nice. Is this a summon? No. This guy is taking a lot of Ushapti. But yeah, the Empire holds. We stood our ground. His Screaming Skull catapults did absolutely nothing. Tomb Scorpion wasn't very useful. I just had a very strong formation that held. And that's going to be another massive burning head. This wizard has 200 kills to his name. Local Bright Wizard ends an entire civilization. Beautiful. Tries to buff up the leadership, but that won't be enough. And indeed, this build was very good versus Tomb Kings. I think there's a lot of stuff here that's just difficult to beat. Now, if he went for a more aggressive build up too, he would have just gotten shot up, right? The Sunmaker forces you to fight or retreat, and retreat is not a great option, as we saw here. Empire Knights killed the cavalry too well. If Necropolis Knights were good, though, I think that would be a different situation. Necropolis Knights could totally stick around and kill all my cavalry and such, but I don't know if they're like animation bugged or something. They're just slightly less effective than you'd expect them to be. I will say his magic's not doing very much either. Terror and all that is only good if you are at a slight advantage and you actually have a strong push going. But there's just a little bit too much ranged. Hammer of the Witches too. Oh, you ain't getting out, man. Oh, you're getting hammered by the witches. Witch hammer, get him. Marcus even gets a pot shot in. Can we get a hammer of the witches shot? The answer is no. They were busy reloading. Maybe one cannonball got him? Hard to say. This will be a good burning head. He has to dodge it. which, oh no. He stopped it from casting. Doesn't matter though. GG. Well played. Well, there you go. That's a victory for us. Another win. Dang. Burning Head OP. Burning Head's very nice versus Tomb Kings. It doesn't get you a lot of value, but clearing their infantry is so important that it's nice. The box prevails. Yeah, dude, we just hard boxed it. That map's very good for that. In a map where you don't have a home point, the box ain't nearly as good. Hammer of the Witches did great, though I did summon it twice. His Screaming Skull catapults, though, really got shut down. My artillery outtraded them so insanely well that there was no way he could do anything. The grenade launchers combined paid for themselves. Empire Knights. Not a lot of value, but most of them lived. And they did clear out the horsemen, which is very important. And yeah, there's a lot of carrion too. I wonder why he had carrion. It's not like... I guess if I have an exposed artillery piece. I will say the Ushapti were a nice touch though. I was thinking the cannon would be better against them, but when you have this many, they're going to make it to your front line. And with mostly infantry, it's not too pretty. They didn't delete everything, but they were certainly the one good unit here. But Ushapti alone are not going to win it for you. Chosen of the Gods though. I questioned them, but they got 3,200. What did they do, man? I wasn't really looking at the Chosen of the Gods. I think they shot the Sunmaker to death, which is where they got their value. But killing the artillery piece so late is an actual real value. It stops me from desummoning it, but if that's all they did, it's not as great. But they definitely did other stuff too. This build is casket food. Against a Hammer of the Witches, the casket is literally a witch waiting to be hunted with cannonballs. Anyways, Trizik, if you're watching, don't give me the tournament point. We didn't have enough signups. And I don't feel comfortable giving myself another tourney win with this. Let's see. Unless I get word that it's fine. You know, if I was... Oh yeah, Discord's API is dying. But yeah, if I was... You know, if someone else had won the tournament, I might have pushed to give them the win. But if it's me, whatever, man. We can chill. We can chill. It makes people suspect the corruption a bit less. Anticity hosts so many tournaments. Spamming tournament wins for himself. What is this? Very nice, though. A fun game. A weirdly, not very successful Empire Day. 4 and 2. We did worse than the Skaven Day. My Empire was not exactly the best. We did lose a few matchups. The Wood Elves were pretty scary. No Elf Wood Elves campaign. I think I've thought about it. I don't think I've done it though. But yeah, fun day. Tomorrow, I will be doing nothing. It's a weekend and we have weekends off. But on Monday for the next stream, what I will be doing is another tournament. Tuesday, we're going to have some more campaign. Then 2 more tournaments. And then next week I have Friday off as we'll be spending with some family. Should be pretty fun. And to all of you, I shall send you to Mercy the Mad. Let's get that raid going. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much to all the supporters. You guys are great. Michael Phillip, Miss New Booty, Clint, Benjo, Caculandia, Obese Chicken, Pisano the Duck, Naldor, John Brothers. Y'alls are great. Sorry, I was trying to set up the raid while saying that. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.